They were seen as prodigies, as the next Ronaldo, Messi, or Xavi. Millions followed their first steps in professional football, but then they were forgotten. What happened to Freddy, Bojan Krkić, and Ravel Morrison? In this video, we take a look at 3 lost talents and what really happened to them. In 2004, a 14-year-old boy makes football history. Freddy makes his debut in Major League Soccer as the youngest professional in U.S. sporting history. The media went into overdrive. He is labeled the American Pelé and signs multi-million-dollar contracts with Nike and Pepsi. ESPN broadcasts special reports. Talk shows are all about him. And yes, Freddy had exceptional skills. His technique was outstanding for his age. His overview impressed even seasoned professionals. At 16, he was called up to the U.S. national team. At 17, he was training at Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson came to watch in person. But that's where the problem began. Freddy was still a child. He himself later said, "I didn't have a real environment. I thought I was already finished." He left DC United, went to Real Salt Lake, then to Europe, Benfica Lisbon. Instead of development, loans, unrest, chaos. Monaco, Belenenses, Aris Saloniki. In Portugal, he only played 11 times. In France, hardly at all. He only stayed briefly everywhere. By the time he was 25, he had already played in 9 countries. But he never became what people thought he was. Maybe the fault wasn't his. Maybe it was a system that turned a teenager into a millionaire overnight, a talent that got lost in the hype. He was hailed as the new Messi at Barca, but he wasn't even of age. Bojan Krkić was an absolute super talent. He set goal records as a youth player at La Masia, over 900 goals as a youngster. No joke. He made his debut in the first team at 17, under Frank Rijkaard. He scored 10 times in his first season. But Bojan wasn't like Messi. He was more sensitive, more vulnerable. When Spain wanted to take him to the European Championships in 2008, he canceled. Not out of arrogance, but because of a panic attack. He later spoke openly in interviews. "I was scared. I couldn't breathe. I wasn't ready for the stage." But the pressure remained. In 2011, he was sold to AS Roma. Then it was on to Milan, Ajax, Stoke City, Mainz 5-0, Alaves, Canada, Japan. Bojan was not a flop, but he was a victim of the system, one that has no regard for mental health. No coach said, "Take a step back." Instead, keep going, to the point of emptiness. Today, he actively promotes mental health in professional sport. His story is a silent warning. Not everyone is made for what fame demands. When discussing wasted talent in football, one name consistently comes up: Ravel Morrison. Sir Alex Ferguson described him as one of the most talented players he had ever seen. Rio Ferdinand, Ryan Giggs, they were all certain this young man would become a global star. Even in Manchester United's youth team, he was a street footballer in the best sense of the word. Technique, vision, creativity. Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard. In the eyes of many, Morrison was better than both of them. But while Pogba became a world champion, Morrison went off the rails early on. Police interventions, threats of violence, theft. Ferguson couldn't keep him. United let him go for fear that his behavior would influence the whole team. Then a glimmer of hope at West Ham, a magical goal against Tottenham, in which he outplayed half the defense, a brief moment that showed what could have been. But once again, he lacked discipline. He was considered lazy in training, unreliable, difficult. What followed was a journey through the world of football. England, Italy, Mexico, the Netherlands, Sweden, the USA. Over 12 clubs in 10 years, nowhere could he really gain a foothold. Time and again, he was offered a new chance, and time and again, he failed. Even Wayne Rooney tried to catch him at Derby County, but as Morrison himself later admitted, he was young, arrogant, and thought talent alone would be enough. Today, Morrison is 31. without a club, and yet many fans remember that one moment, that one player who could have been anything. Ravel Morrison is a symbol of how talent opens doors, but only discipline keeps them open. Ravel Morrison, the greatest talent that never arrived.